Welcome to day 87 of our Bible reading plan. Today we're reading Leviticus chapter 20, Proverbs chapter 16, Proverbs chapter 17, Mark chapter 13, verse 1 to verse 13, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 to verse 18, and Psalms chapter 87. We're reading from the Berean Standard Bible and we start with Leviticus chapter 20. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, any Israelite or foreigner living in Israel who gives any of his children to Molech must be put to death. The people of the land are to stone him, and I will set my face against that man and cut him off from his people, because by giving his offspring to Molech, he has defiled my sanctuary and profaned my holy name. And if the people of the land ever hide their eyes and fail to put to death the man who gives one of his children to Molech, then I will set my face against that man and his family and cut off from among their people both him and all who follow him in prostituting themselves with Molech. Whoever turns to mediums or spiritists to prostitute himself with them, I will also set my face against that person and cut him off from his people. Consecrate yourselves, therefore, and be holy, because I am the Lord your God, and you shall keep my statutes and practice them. I am the Lord who sanctifies you. If anyone curses his father or mother, he must be put to death. He has cursed his father or mother, his blood shall be upon him. If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, with the wife of his neighbor, both the adulterer and the adulteress must surely be put to death. If a man lies with his father's wife, he has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both must surely be put to death. Their blood is upon them. If a man lies with his daughter-in-law, both must surely be put to death. They have acted perversely. Their blood is upon them. If a man lies with a man as with a woman, they have both committed an abomination. They must surely be put to death. Their blood is upon them. If a man marries both a woman and a mother, it is depraved. Both he and they must be burned in the fire, so that there will be no depravity among you. If a man lies carnally with an animal, he must be put to death, and you are also to kill the animal. If a woman approaches any animal to mate with it, you must kill both the woman and the animal. They must surely be put to death. Their blood is upon them. If a man marries his sister, whether the daughter of his father or of his mother, and they have sexual relations, it is a disgrace. They must be cut off in the sight of their people. He has uncovered the nakedness of his sister. He shall bear his iniquity. If a man lies with a menstruating woman and has sexual relations with her, he has exposed the source of her flow, and he has uncovered the source of her blood. Both of them must be cut off from among their people. You must not have sexual relations with the sister of your mother or your father, for it's exposing one's own kin. Both shall bear their iniquity. If a man lies with his uncle's wife, he has uncovered the nakedness of his uncle. They will bear their sin. They shall die childless. If a man marries his brother's wife, it is an act of impurity. He has uncovered the nakedness of his brother. They shall be childless. You are therefore to keep all my statutes and ordinances, so that the land where I am bringing you to live will not vomit you out. You must not follow the statutes of the nations I am driving out before you, because they did all these things. I abhorred them. But I have told you that you will inherit their land, since I will give it to you as an inheritance, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who has set you apart from the peoples. You are therefore to distinguish between clean and unclean animals and birds. Do not become contaminated by any animal or bird, or by anything that crawls on the ground. I have set these apart as unclean for you. You are to be holy to me, because I, the Lord, am holy. and I have set you apart from the nations to be my own. A man or a woman who is a medium or spiritist must surely be put to death. They shall be stoned. Their blood is upon them. Our next reading for today is Proverbs chapter 16. The plans of the heart belong to man, but the reply of the tongue is from the Lord. All a man's ways are pure in his own eyes, but his motives are weighed out by the Lord. Commit your works to the Lord, and your plans will be achieved. The Lord has made everything for his purpose, even the wicked for the day of disaster. Everyone who is proud in heart is detestable to the Lord. Be assured that he will not go unpunished. By loving devotion and faithfulness, iniquity is atoned for, and by the fear of the Lord, one turns aside from evil. When a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even the man's enemies live at peace with him. Better a little with righteousness than great gain with injustice. A man's heart plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. A divine verdict is on the lips of a king. His mouth must not betray justice. Honest scales and balances are from the Lord. All the weights in the bag are his concern. Wicked behavior is detestable to kings, for a throne is established through righteousness. Righteous lips are a king's delight, and he who speaks honestly is beloved. The wrath of a king is a messenger of death, but a wise man will pacify it. When a king's face brightens, there is life. His favor is like a rain cloud in spring. How much better to acquire wisdom than gold? To gain understanding is more desirable than silver. The highway of the upright leads away from evil. He who guards his way protects his life. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. It is better to be lowly in spirit among the humble than to divide the spoil with the proud. Whoever heeds instruction will find success, and blessed is he who trusts in the Lord. The wise in heart are called discerning, and pleasant speech promotes instruction. Understanding is a fountain of life to its possessor, but the discipline of fools is folly. The heart of the wise man instructs his mouth, and adds persuasiveness to his lips. Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and healing to the bones. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. A worker's appetite works for him because his hunger drives him onward. A worthless man digs up evil, and his speech is like a scorching fire. A perverse man spreads dissension, and a gossip divides close friends. A violent man entices his neighbor and leads him down a path that is not good. He who winks his eye devises perversity. He who purses his lips is bent on evil. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is attained along the path of righteousness. He who is slow to anger is better than a warrior, and he who controls his temper is greater than one who captures a city. The lost is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. Now we're going to read Proverbs chapter 17. Better a dry morsel in quietness than a house full of feasting with strife. A wise servant will rule over a disgraceful son and share his inheritance as one of the brothers. A crucible for silver and a furnace for gold, but the Lord is the tester of hearts. A wicked man listens to evil lips. A liar gives ear to a destructive tongue. He who mocks the poor insults their maker. Whoever gloats over calamity will not go unpunished. Grandchildren are the crown of the aged, and the glory of a son is their father. Eloquent words are unfit for a fool. How much worse are lying lips to a ruler? A bribe is a charm to its giver. Wherever it turns, it succeeds. Whoever conceals an offense promotes love, but he who brings it up separates friends. A rebuke cuts into a man of discernment deeper than 100 lashes cut into a fool. An evil man seeks only rebellion. A cruel messenger will be sent against him. It is better to meet a bear robbed of a corpse than a fool in his folly. If anyone returns evil for evil, evil will never leave his house. To start a quarrel is to release a flood, so abandon the dispute before it breaks out. Accusing the guilty and condemning the righteous, both are detestable to the Lord. Why should the fool have money in his hand with no intention of buying wisdom? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A man lacking judgment strikes hands in pledge and puts up security for his neighbor. He who loves transgression loves strife. He who builds his gate high invites destruction. The one with a perverse heart finds no God, and he whose tongue is deceitful falls into trouble. A man fathers a fool to his own grief. The father of a fool has no joy. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. A wicked man takes a covert bribe to subvert the cause of justice. Wisdom is the focus of the discerning, but the eyes of a fool wander to the ends of the earth. A foolish son brings grief to his father and bitterness to her who bore him. Our next reading is Mark chapter 13, verse 1 to verse 13. As Jesus was leaving the temple, one of his disciples said to him, Teacher, look at the magnificent stones and buildings. Do you see all these great buildings? Jesus replied, Not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. While Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives opposite the temple, Peter, James, John, and Andrew asked him privately, Tell us, when will these things happen? And what will be the sign that they are about to be fulfilled? Jesus began by telling them, See to it that no one deceives you. Many will come in my name, claiming, I am he, and will deceive many. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. These things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places as well as famines. These are the beginning of birth pains. So be on your guard. You will be delivered over to the councils and beaten in the synagogues. On my account, you will stand before governors and kings as witnesses to them. And the gospel must first be proclaimed to all the nations. And when they arrest you and hand you over, do not worry beforehand what to say. Instead, speak whatever you are given at that time, for it will not be you speaking, but the Holy Spirit. Brother will betray brother to death, and a father his child. Children will rise against their parents and have them put to death. You will be hated by everyone because of my name, but the one who perseveres to the end will be saved. Now we're going to read 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 to verse 18. Now, we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this surpassingly great power is from God and not from us. We are hard pressed on all sides, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed. We always carry around in our body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in our body. For we who are alive are always consigned to death for Jesus' sake, so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in our mortal body. So then, death is at work in us, but life is at work in you. And in keeping with what is written, I believed, therefore I have spoken. We who have the same spirit of faith also believe and therefore speak, knowing that the one who raised the Lord Jesus will also raise us with Jesus and present us with you in his presence. All this is for your benefit, so that the grace that is extending to more and more people may overflow in thanksgiving to the glory of God. Therefore, we do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, yet our inner self is being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary affliction is producing for us an eternal glory that is far beyond comparison. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. The next passage for today is Psalms chapter 87, and that's our last reading for today. He has founded his city on the holy mountains. The Lord loves the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are ascribed to you, O city of God, Selah. I will mention Rahab and Babylon among those who know me, along with Philistia, Tyre, and Cush. When I say this one was born in Zion, and it will be said of Zion, this one and that one were born in her, and the Most High Himself will establish her. The Lord will record in the register of the peoples, this one was born in Zion. Selah. Singers and pipers will proclaim, all my springs of joy are in you. May the Lord bless the reading, hearing, and doing of His word.